You are welcome to Literature Hub 247, a free online literature class. We are still on that interesting African novel titled Redemption Road, written by Elma Shaw. Earlier on this platform, we have discussed the plot summary, the character analysis, as well as the themes. We've also discussed chapters 1 to 20 of the novel on this platform. So, if you need the links to those videos, you can request for it through the comment section, and I will send the links to you. We remember that Bendu is now in Siata's house after she escaped from Commander Cobra, who tried to kidnap her. She vacated her house for security reasons, and she's now in Siata's house. We discussed about how she slept off and started dreaming about how she escaped from Duluma. But the author tried to put us on hold there by making use of what we call suspense in literature, so that we have interest in reading more. So this is chapter 21. Things are not going smoothly for Moses Vane as expected by him. That night is the night he has been expecting, and nothing should stop the success of the operation. No, the story has now shifted to Commander Cobra, also known as Moses Vane. The armed shipmen arrived that night, and the operation should be each free. He will go for the first shipment of the hands, and somebody else will go for the second in order not to be discovered. Vane knows that people will be looking for him because of what he did to Bendu. As he studies the map, he keeps on thinking about Bendu and asks himself why he didn't kill her at that time. Why is she bent on prosecuting him? He also expresses how his past has been haunting him. He remembers how the residents of Duluma avoided him for days and ran away whenever he was approaching. When lonely in his room, he will break down weeping, and his head will ache because they look at him as a demon. That is when he's normal. But when he's on drug, he doesn't think about all those things. He only has a bit of rest of mind when on drugs. The nightmares are gotten rid of. His mind also goes to the 1980 coup d'etat, which eventually led to the assassination of Samuel Doe, that is the former president. He studies the map to know where the checkpoints are and who to meet there. Vane enjoys the disloyalty of some people in Taylor's government. Dagoze and some disloyal people are giving out small arms and light weapons out at a price. Vane asks himself again why they resorted in killing their own people. He looks at himself in the mirror and sees that he has put on weight since he left the bush. He opens the drawer and brings out his gun. He looks at himself in the mirror again and asks himself what he's doing with the gun. He puts the gun down and feels his heartbeat. Vane says he will go through with the mission, but is doubtful of the strength and the future of the faction, whether they can do better than the leaders they are planning to oust. He thinks of the workability of reconciliation with the continuous killings and displacement of innocent civilians. They try to overthrow an elected government and ignore the cries of the people who are bent on going to the ballot rather than by bullet. He says he can't stop now. Many Congo boys are coming back from the diaspora and are not deterred by the war. They are determined and brilliant. His mind goes to the night they met Bendu, when she spoke an indigenous language fluently. This gave him the hope of a prosperous Liberia. Vane regrets ever stepping back into Bendu's life. He is, however, sorry for how he treated her in Duluma. He believes that everyone will account for their actions, but is not ready for any prosecution now. He also believes in that everyone will account for their actions, but he doesn't want to be prosecuted now. It's almost 3 o'clock when Vane looks at his watch. He has 5 hours left for the deal at the airport. Everything is set. He is only expecting a final phone call from chief to confirm everything. He considers going to the bar to while away the time. As he looks at his watch again, expecting the call, his cell phone rings. The chief informs him that he has been detailed to be arrested for assault and battery by Bendu. You see that? Somebody somewhere is giving out the information about Bendu. The previous charges about Duluma have been dropped by Bendu, and new charges have now been levied against Vani. The chief orders him to get out immediately and meet them at the Panesville house. In response to Vani's question about the deal, the chief angrily reprimands him for attacking Bendu when he was supposed to be undercover. That is, he's not supposed to be involved in anything that will make people see him or know that he is somewhere. Vani then begs the chief not to call it off when he hears the intonation of the chief. The chief replies that the people are not sure of Vani's 100% commitment again, unless he can use his discretion to get the deal done. Vani then promises his commitment, and the chief tells him that they expect him in 15 minutes. That is chapter 21. Now chapter 22. This is a continuation of Bendu's nightmare at Siata's place. Remember, she was dreaming about how she escaped from Duluma. Bendu is still in the nightmare. The angry villagers lead her back to Duluma. After the old man saves her from being killed, some villagers identify her as a Duluma spy, and they nearly kill her until an old man came to her rescue. Fortunately for her, the villagers were disappearing one by one until only her walking. The sun stood still in the sky, and she continued walking and found herself climbing a mountain. She later reached the mountain top that had a beautiful landscape. The nightmare ends in a happy mood. She is free. The nightmare ends in a happy mood because of the environment she finds herself. She later reached the mountain top that had a beautiful landscape. The nightmare ends in a happy mood. She is free. Bendu wakes up and wants to shout because of the happy mood she is. She wants to sleep back and go back to the mountain, but she feels a slight headache. She looks at the stitches in the mirror and prays that it doesn't develop any scar after they are removed. She looks outside through the curtain and she's surprised to see that it's dusk. The full moon lights up the crest of the waves of the Atlantic. She now sees the ocean is close to the apartment. Bendu remembers her recent experience with Vani on the beach. She is happy that she eventually agreed to stay in Mamba Point, that is Siata's place. She determines not to go back to her apartment until Vani is arrested. Bendu takes a shower and looks at Siata and Terence. She looks for them within the apartment. She later finds Siata arranging magazines under the coffee table. Bendu comments that the apartment is large. She notices that Siata is not in a good mood, and she asks her what the problem is and any information about Vani. Siata explained that an anonymous caller called Councillor Gray and told him that Vani had moved to King's Castle. But when the officers got there, he dodged the officers. She says that Reeves has sent Gray to come and give them an update and is on his way up. Bendu then apologizes for the inconvenience he's given them in the house concerning the case. Councillor Gray knocks on the door and Siata opens the door for him. He wears a casual dress and carries his leather briefcase. Siata goes and pours them some drinks at the bar. She asks who could have informed Vani about the writ of arrest. Gray corroborates Siata's statement that somebody in the court could be connected to Vani. As Siata served them hummus, olives, and Lebanese bread, she asked if they are not supposed to uphold the law. Bendu expatiates further that being righteous won't feed their families. She says government employees have not been paid for 7 months. Hence, corruption is in a big table. That is, somebody is there, maybe collecting money and giving out the information. Gray observed that Vanny sneaked out of the hotel without settling the bill because he didn't check out, and all his properties were not there. It's like he's running away to avoid the court officers. Gray responds to Bendu's question that he received the anonymous call from a person who didn't leave his name but said, "Don't worry, just tell my sister nothing spoiled," quote unquote. The anonymous caller is Ware, Vanny's driver. He was repeating nothing spoiled during his interaction with Bendu at the beach. I think you can remember that. By the time Vanny tried to kidnap Bendu when they were on the beach, Ware continued saying nothing spoiled. So this shows us that it's Ware that called the man. The duo of Seattle and Gray asked Bendu if she knows the meaning or who the person is. Bendu is reluctant to give them the answer. She only says, "It doesn't matter now." Seattle says that Vanny might try to leave the town. Bendu then asks how they can find him. Gray agrees with Bendu that they will have to go from one hotel to another, searching for him, that is searching for Vanny. Councillor Gray explains that they issued the writ of arrest immediately they discovered where he was. The officer then left for the place instantly in their vehicles. Bendu then asks for the next line of action since they couldn't get Vanny. Gray replies that Bendu's security is the ultimate now. He suggests that they publish a restraining order in the newspaper. This will make him stay away from Bendu. He says they will still be searching for him. Gray also wants her not to go to her house. That is, that Bendu should not go to her house, at least for now. Bendu responded that she would not be trapped in the apartment and that she would go out when she wanted. After Gray leaves, Bendu and Seattle step out to the balcony overlooking Sekuture Avenue in the warm night. The place is not far from the American Embassy, European Union buildings, and other international NGOs. Bendu comments that all the humanitarian organizations are on ground to help the displaced people, while some Liberians are still causing problems. She adds that they don't have enough resources to help the traumatized girls in Peace in Practice, that is our NGO. Bendu then asks of Terrence, and Seattle says she doesn't know when he will be back. She tells Bendu to come inside and call their parents. Bendu is reluctant to go inside and even to make the call. She says she is happy that it is a phone call to her mommy and not a physical discussion. She also shows her disbelief that Bendu can keep such secrets for years. Bendu responds that it is easy to keep, though it torments her inside. That she doesn't have the desire to share it. Seattle asks Bendu how Calvin reacts to her confession. She replies that he has not talked to her since then. She then advises Bendu to give Calvin some time, that he loves her. Seattle also prays that Calvin doesn't have girlfriend and secret children elsewhere. She tagged this the Liberian man nonsense. Bendu then asks if that's what Seattle is experiencing from Terrence. The latter explains that everything goes smoothly when she first comes home. He comes home late later without any reason or explanation with strange smells. That is talking about Terrence. That Terrence come home late now with a strange smell. And he will not give any reason. He will just come home past midnight and go to sleep. Seattle continues that Terrence has been behaving strangely lately. He says he once told her that he was keeping company with other women because she was not sleeping with him. Seattle then says she's not sleeping with him because he's sleeping around with women. Bendu asks Seattle if that's how she handles it. Seattle explains that she needs to safeguard her life because of HIV, which is everywhere in sub-Saharan Africa. Bendu now casts her mind back to Seattle's wedding ceremony with all the promises of happily living. Terrence and Seattle were the dinosaur of all highs. That this is a flashback. So that is chapters 21 2022. Please, if you are new on this platform, please try and click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be part of this class, and whenever any video is released, you are going to be notified. Like this video. You are free to share it on any social media platform. Invite your friends to join us. If you have any comments or questions, you can send it through the comment section there. Teachers in the house, as I always say, introduce your students to this platform. Parents, introduce your children to this platform. I wish you best of luck. Let's meet in the next class.